Isn't Harry Styles looking kind of strange to you? Yeah, he's upside down and all, but that's not what I'm talking about. There is something else bizarre happening here, and I'll give you 1 second to figure it out. Really pay attention to every tiny detail in this photo. So, did you catch it? Look at his mouth and his eyes. Even though everything else is flipped, his mouth and his eyes look normal. I mean, they're upright, but I bet you probably only noticed after I pointed it out, right? This phenomenon is known as the inverted face illusion. See, our brains are wired to recognize faces in their usual upright position, taking on the whole face at once and spotting details almost instantly. But when a face is flipped upside down, it's suddenly a lot harder to catch anything unusual. So at first glance, you might think the mouth and eyes are upside down too, just like everything else. Warning, this is not just a boring image of black and white stripes. I promise there is something, or better yet, someone, hidden behind those bars. To see it, all you have to do is shake your head quickly. If you're trying to avoid a headache or shaking your head in front of your coworkers seems, well, odd, there is another trick. If you're on a laptop, tilt the screen, step back, and look at the image from a side angle. Can you see Taylor Swift appearing on the screen? Yep, there she is. There is something about masks that just creeps me out, and things are about to get even creepier here. Right now, it's just a mask turning really slowly. Okay, keep going. Oh, wait, are we seeing the front of the mask again? Actually, no. The mask is still spinning. This is called the hollow face illusion, also known as the hollow mask illusion. What happens here is that our minds are tricked into seeing the back of the mask, the concave side, as the same as the front or convex side. In other words, instead of seeing the back of the mask as hollow, most of us see it as a regular face popping out toward us. This trick works because our brains rely more on what they expect to see, a 3D face sticking out, than what is really there. It's like our brain just says, nope, I'm sure this is a regular face. Here's another spinning illusion for you. Tell me in the comments, do you see a girl spinning to the right or to the left? This is called the spinning dancer or the silhouette illusion. And it's been puzzling minds all over the internet since 2003. The reason is that while some people see the dancer spinning clockwise, others swear she is moving counterclockwise. So, who's correct? Short answer, both. Long answer, it just has an optical illusion that messes with our depth perception. At certain points in her spin, you can't really tell if her arms, for instance, are moving in front or behind her body. So your brain just guesses, creating the illusion that she could be spinning either way. What makes it more interesting is that if we add a few lines, suddenly your brain isn't confused anymore. It can now totally tell which direction the girl is spinning, even if it works both ways. Can you spot something odd with these photos? For some strange reason, you might not have noticed that the top half of both photos is the exact same picture of Ryan Gosling. But why do we think they're two different photos? This effect is called the composite face illusion. Basically, when you line up the top half of one face with the bottom half of another, our brains interpret it as a completely new face. The bottom half messes with how we see the top half, and vice versa, making it all blend together. But this illusion only really works when the face is upright. Flip it upside down or misalign the halves, and suddenly our brains can separate them more easily, letting us spot the original faces faster. This way, it's much easier to see that the two top halves are exactly the same. Why is Adele's head just floating in the middle of nowhere? Let's throw in a background for some context. Whoa, okay, that wasn't exactly what I had in mind, but alright, let's go with it. Now, look around Adele. Do you think that the background is moving or not? Got your answer? Well, the background seems to be moving, but it's actually totally still and flat. If you don't believe me, just pause the video and you'll see that those purple and yellow waves keep moving like crazy. The reason is that this pattern was designed to trick your brain into seeing motion with contrasting colors, shapes, and positions. Our brain interprets change in light as movement, so the lines look like they're moving. But here's something even cooler. Focus your eyes only on Adele and try your best not to blink. Just keep staring at her. Now tell me, Did you notice how the illusory motion seems to slow down? Wild, right? A lot of optical illusions we see online play with the contrast effect. This is all about how our brains perceive things based on what they're compared to. So our perceptions can be enhanced or diminished based on these comparisons. Want to see it? Let's take a photo of Dua Lipa, double it, and make it look grayish. See? They're exactly the same color and tone. But suddenly, your perception might change. One of them will get a light gray background and the other will get a black one. Now, the gray tones in Dua Lipa's photos look different from each other, right? If you can't see the effect with Dua Lipa's picture, don't worry. Here's an easier example. Trust me, the two inner gray rectangles are exactly the same color, but you're probably seeing the bottom one as darker. That's because this small rectangle is surrounded by a lighter shade compared to the top one. See? It's all about how our brains perceive things, taking the surroundings into account. Ready for a trip? Keep your eyes on this helm as we prepare to set sail. So, is this ship's wheel turning right or left? Well, it depends because you can actually control it. Tilt your head slowly to the left, and you will see the ship's wheel move in one direction. Now, tilt your head to the right. Slowly, don't rush. Can you see what's happening? It looks like our ship just changed direction. Something similar happens here. This time, the image of the circle is totally static, but you can make it look like it's moving. Just focus on the black dot in the center and move your head back and forth. Now, you're probably seeing the circle rotate. This illusion works because our brain processes motion direction by detecting the line ends and angles, which can create conflicting signals, tricking our brain into seeing rotation. I'm almost sure you think this image is tilted like those columns, especially the ones in the center, are somehow bending. But once again, your mind is playing tricks on you. Look, if we add white lines forming a rectangle, you will see that the vertical and horizontal lines are completely straight. Let's wrap up with some fun homework. Next time you pass an old-school barbershop, stop and take a good look at the classic spinning pole outside. Isn't it hypnotizing? The red and blue stripes seem to be endlessly going up or down. But here's the truth. The stripes aren't moving upward or downward at all. They're just rotating around the pole horizontally. What happens is that these stripes are diagonal. So when the pole spins, instead of the stripes looking like they're going in a circle, they seem to move straight up or down the pole. Look at these lines very attentively. So what can you say about them? I bet these rows seem to tilt alternately. To tell you the truth, I felt a bit dizzy just looking at them. But in reality, the lines are actually parallel. The pattern of the rows creates this amazing optical illusion. And if you don't believe me, pause the video and check it for yourself. Now, how about these rings? They seem to be rotating, moving in different directions. But in reality, the rings never change their position. The image is still. The only thing that changes is the color of the petals. What you see now is some kind of color context illusion. The circle at the top seems to be darker than the one at the bottom, right? In reality, these circles are the same shade of red. This illusion proves the point that the color of the background can affect how our brain perceives the color of the object itself. Despite what it looks like, this spinning disk's optical illusion is not a GIF. It's a motionless image, even though the snakes appear to be turning right in front of your eyes. This optical illusion works because of how your eyes process an image. They scan it repeatedly, autofocusing and adjusting all the time. Now, I'll tell you about one trick to try out. Focus intensely on one single snake. Voila! All the motion has stopped. The next image for you to marvel at. Even though we already know how this principle works, our eyes keep deceiving us, claiming that the square on the left is much lighter than the one on the right. While in reality, their shades are exactly the same. You can check. Remember, it's all about the background. This is the so-called cafe wall illusion. The rows in this picture seem to be angled up or down, right? But the horizontal lines are actually all parallel. If you want some proof, pause the video and cover the top and bottom one row of squares with a piece of paper. You'll find no slants. Look at the moment of these short blue and yellow lines. They seem to be moving alternately, just like tiny feet going tip-tap, tip-tap. This effect becomes even more pronounced if you do not look at the feet directly, but stare at the space between them. Well, it's just another optical illusion. In reality, the movement of these short multicolored lines is always simultaneous. Look at this. Is it a short video? It sure looks like one, but once you concentrate, you realize that the snowboarder isn't really moving forward. This illusion involves 4 frames. The first 2 of them are consecutive frames from a video, and the next 2 repeat the first ones, but in the negative. The reason why this illusion works is the simultaneous inversion of contrast and motion direction, which makes us see the snowboarder as moving non-stop. This pattern is stationary, and yet it seems to expand with its central part growing bigger and bigger in front of your eyes. The effect is stronger if you don't look directly at the picture. The most confusing thing here is that not everybody can perceive this illusion, and no expert has understood why it's so yet. Here is a rotating array that consists of blue crosses and 3 yellow dots. Try to focus on the center, on that flashing red-green spot. It's magic. The yellow spots disappear every once in a while. They do it one by one, in pairs, or all 3 simultaneously, right? Well, not really. It's just an illusion. In reality, the 3 yellow spots are present all the time. Believe me. Look at this rotating thingy. It seems to be a 3D object like a spinning top, but in reality, it's just an optical illusion created by the rotation of certain figures. You might not get this 3D vibe from the very beginning. If so, try to imagine a rotating crater. It may help. In this image, we see railroad tracks and 2 yellow lines. The one at the top is definitely longer than the one at the bottom, but once you look more closely, you'll realize that both lines are the exact same length. This illusion is based on our perception. We tend to see this image with a linear perspective, and it makes the top yellow line look longer than the one at the bottom. When we look at this optical illusion, it seems like the background pattern is spinning around in a circle. In reality, both the background and the circle are staying completely still, but the effect is kinda hypnotizing. This next illusion is kinda cool, even though not all people can see it at first sight. Follow the red dot with your gaze. Keep in mind that rotating your head might help you here. You'll see that some of the squares in the background start shifting. Of course, in reality, they all remain still. The effect might be fleeting for you. Sometimes strong, sometimes missing. In any case, all the motion here, apart from the moving red dot, is absolutely illusory. Look at this image. Are you sure the circles aren't moving? Indeed, they seem to be rippling in a wave-like motion. It happens because of a lag in the way we process visual information. When your eyes move from one part of this image to another, it causes your brain to think there is movement. Uh-oh, it looks like our smarts are being tested. Honestly, this next optical illusion has left me dazed and slightly confused. Look at it. The colors seem to be swirling around, right? But it's a still image, and the effect is created by the combination of the patterns and colors. To read a secret message hidden in this image, try to lose your focus a bit. To do it, you might want to go a little cross-eyed or squint. Aha! The secret message is hide and seek. But if you take a closer look, the words will disappear from sight altogether. Look at this rotating image. The wheel defined by the dark bright sectors is rotating clockwise, and the spokes are rotating counterclockwise, right? Now concentrate on the image using your steadiest gaze. The spokes actually stay put. This image is pretty confusing too. Can you tell if the smallest point of this black and white illusion is sticking out or pointing in? Well, the contrasting lines don't let us figure it out, so it's anyone's guess. One more optical illusion to question your perception of space. Can you figure out which of these windows is larger? At first sight, it looks like the one on the right is way bigger than the other one. But they're actually not only the exact same size, but their tops and bottoms are also directly in line with each other. Amazing! As soon as you look at the next image, the 4 diamonds pop right out. Interestingly, there's not a single line creating those shapes. It's just the contrast between the black and white that makes your brain assume that the lines exist. Some of the trickiest optical illusions can surely make your head spin. For example, take this one. On the left, the red squares seem to be warped and crooked. But on the right, where all this bizarre arrangement of black and white lines has faded to almost nothing, we see that the red squares are as straight and, well, square as they can be. This one might be the coolest illusion of them all. Look at these towers. Is one of them leaning more than the other? I mean, of course, it's the one on the right. Duh! It certainly looks like it, but no. The two pictures are identical. It's the way they're positioned next to each other that makes the right one appear steeper. Now, look at this image. Can you believe that the lines that make up these squares are completely straight? Yep, exactly. All of them, even the ones in the middle. The placement of the miniature squares within the squares makes the lines look curved.
Wow, something bizarre is about to go down. Focus on this cross right here. Ignore the wild celebrity roulette spinning around the edges. And whatever you do, don't blink. Just keep staring at the cross in the middle. Now tell me, do you notice how our favorite stunning celebrities are starting to look like something out of a monster movie? No special effects are happening here. Trust me, all of this is purely in your mind. So when you're presented with a series of eye-aligned photos, one after the other, your brain kind of glitches, mixing them up and making them look distorted. Before you know it, even the most flawless features of Hollywood's Barbie and Ken, Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, begin to look twisted, squashed, or stretched. Ooh, the chills! Here we have an animation of 4 faces flipping between Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato. But are you ready for a spin? These faces will keep switching back and forth between the two of them, but now they'll also be spinning in a circle. Fix your gaze on this cross and resist the urge to look away. If you stay focused right on the center, you'll find it almost impossible to spot them morphing between their faces. The transition seems delayed, like it's barely happening. But the moment we stop the spinning motion, bam! It's pretty clear that the morphing animation was happening the whole time at the same speed. Meet the rotating rays illusion. If you're seeing what I'm seeing, the outer ring looks like it's moving clockwise, while the inner ring seems to spin counterclockwise. But what's strange about it is that these circles aren't moving at all. Our eye movements play a huge role in creating this effect. When you keep shifting your gaze around the image, the illusion of motion continues. But can we make things more interesting by placing a picture of Kim Kardashian right in the center? Focus just on her face and try your best not to blink. Notice how the rings seem to slow down or even stop? Bizarre, huh? This illusion was created by a Japanese professor known for designing tons of mind-bending illusions. Like this one, where it looks like rollers with blue dots are turning towards each other. Or this one, where yellow rings seem to move up and down, almost as if they're getting closer together. But again, these aren't animations or GIFs. The motion is only happening in your mind. Ooh. The painting The Scream is scary on its own. But one optical illusion can make it even weirder, practically bringing it to life. If we throw in a little zooming in and out motion to Munch's iconic work, the haunting face seems to grow and shrink, almost as if it's jumping out at you. It makes the scream feel all too real, right? Now, of course, this After Effect illusion isn't just for paintings. We can do the same with a photo from Rihanna's concert. Fix your gaze on the middle of the image, and you'll start to see her move, almost like you're getting a front row seat to a live performance. Alright, maybe it's not quite as cool as seeing Rihanna actually perform, but it's still pretty awesome. Next, we have this pretty ordinary checkerboard image. but I'll ask you to pay special attention to the squares marked with the letters A and B. So, are they the same color or different? Most people confidently say that square A is darker and B is lighter. But what's bizarre about it is that they are actually the same exact shade of gray. Ooh, one of 50 shades of gray? Heh, sorry I couldn't help it. Anyway, how does this magic happen? Well, the square labeled B is sitting in the shadow of that cylinder. Your brain automatically thinks, hey, shadows make things darker. So it brightens square B to adjust for the shadow, while square A, which is outside of the shadow, is left as it is. Let's talk about the paperclip illusion. If you take a simple grid and add perfectly straight diagonal lines, something strange happens. They look bent or kinked. It's called the paperclip illusion because some people think that the lines resemble a row of paperclips. Can't see it? Well, there is a way to fix that. If you look at the image from the corner of your eye, the effect gets stronger. So let's put a photo of Timothée Chalamet in the corner. Fix your gaze on him, and in your peripheral vision, you'll notice those straight lines now seem bent like a bunch of paperclips floating around. Can you see it now? Another interesting thing is that the effect changes if you adjust the thickness of the lines. Make them thicker, and instead of paperclips, the illusion shifts to something that looks like chains. But if we do the opposite, making the lines thinner, they'll look more like wavy ribbons. Here we have photos of two pairs of Crocs, and we can all agree that this one is pink and this one is green, right? Awesome! But let's make it a bit harder with this new picture. So, what color are these Crocs? Take a good look and tell me. Which option do you think you just saw? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? Got your answer? If you guessed option 1, you are correct. These Crocs are actually pink, but they look gray because there's a green filter over the image. The lighting tricks our eyes into seeing colors differently. White things, like these socks, turn green, while pink things, like these Crocs, turn a kind of gray. This color constancy illusion proves just how much lighting can deceive our brains. There was one more pink illusion for you. This time, we have an image with a white circle in the middle. But now, let's add some motion to it. I know this animation is intense, but keep staring at the black X in the center. Suddenly, that white circle seems to take on a soft pink hue. It's almost as if the red and white pixels around it are blending together. A similar thing happens with this red and white checkerboard. Keep focusing on the black X again right in the center. And will you notice that when the checkerboard suddenly changes to all white, the red spaces still might look faintly pink? One explanation is that when you stare at the X, your eyes get used to seeing the red and white edges. This adaptation effect leaves an afterimage in your vision, and your brain holds onto the red so strongly that when it's removed, it fills in the white with a touch of pink. Now, for our final trick, we have an illusion called the Poggendorff triangles. What do you see when you look at this weird shape? So you might see it as two triangles put together, one here and the other one here, right? That makes sense, but that is not the correct answer. I mean, yeah, there are in fact two triangles in this image, but not in those positions. What's happening is that your brain probably thinks there's an imaginary diagonal line running through them, like those two edges are connected and part of a single line. But the truth is that those edges don't connect at all. See? They're actually two distinct lines that don't line up. Like I said earlier, there are indeed two triangles in this image, just not in the way we expect. Let's separate these shapes and, wow, there they are! This illusion works because when we see objects that are partly hidden, our brains sort of create imaginary outlines to make things seem more logical. But those outlines aren't actually there. The same happens here. Your brain thinks this image is just bizarre and then tries to figure it out by filling in the empty spaces in the middle. So you end up seeing the gray areas as part of a single translucent rectangle, which definitely doesn't exist. Crazy, huh?
You'll have 10 seconds for each of the optical illusions. Your task will be to read the hidden number. You'll go from the easiest to the hardest riddles. Start off with an easy one for warm-up. Told you, it's 784. Moving on. I hope you were able to see the number 5346 here. Level up. How about this one? The correct answer is 725. And another one. Yes, it's 786. Now, only 5% of people can read the next three numbers. Want to give it a go? If your answer is 6012, it's correct. And here's another tricky one. It's 182. And if you saw it, you must have eagle vision. Told you it won't be easy, but try this one. The correct answer is 3708. Let's see how you handle some black and white illusions. And the first one is hiding the number 476. There you go. If that was too simple, how about this one? I hope you guessed it was 86347. And now, let's test your eyes with some hidden words. You still have 10 seconds for each of them. I'm sure you figured out it's the word never. Can you read what this picture says? I can't sleep. How sad. This one is hiding the name of some month. You have to think outside the box to read it. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time. Well, the secret was to split it in half. Then you can see it's July. How about this one? It's the word run hiding in the back. Another one for you. Hope you found the gold. Here comes a tricky one. It takes some brain power to see its brain. Another one in this category. It's only getting more complicated. If you read the word music between the lines, you must be a genius. Now let's see if you can decipher these secret messages. I give you 10 seconds for this one. Well, if someone says it's just a bunch of letters without meaning, you can easily prove them wrong. What do you see here? The power of imagination makes us infinite. Couldn't agree more. Here's another one. I hope you always desire to learn something useful. You deserve some dessert for all that mental activity. Here's just one cupcake among all those ice cream cones. Try to find it. There it is. Yum. Get a tomato to go. I can only see a bunch of apples, but maybe you'll be luckier here. Found it! There's a butterfly hiding somewhere among those flowers. Do you see it? Fantastic! It's right there. Can you find the one and only pineapple in this image? Great job! One of these colorful leaves is in fact a mushroom. Can you spot it? Well done! How about a safari to give your eyes another test? Do you see anyone hiding in these leaves? Yep, it's a chameleon. And those guys know how to blend with the surroundings. There must be a groundhog hiding somewhere in the rocks. Find it in 10 seconds. Wow, that was neat. One coyote won't do you much harm, but if it brings some friends, better make sure this area is coyote-free. Start looking for a different picnic spot. One of those guys is right here. Watch where you step. I hear there are snakes on the ground. Found one. Better be careful. I don't see anyone roaming in this territory. Let's see if you have sharper eyes. What a beautiful gazelle. Did you manage to find it? The next illusion was created back in 1860. It shows how your brain perceives depth and shapes. So, do you think the black line lines up with the blue one? If you answered yes, you're wrong. In fact, the black line stems from the red line. Now, take a look at these illusions and remember what you see first. It can tell a lot about your personality. If it looks like a mountain to you, you're a down-to-earth person. You're persistent, reliable, and like to plan things. Overcoming obstacles makes you feel really happy. You appreciate stability and don't like to take risks. If you saw the upside-down wolf first, you're a natural leader. You keep your emotions under control even in the most stressful situations. Others admire and respect you for that. Remember, it's okay to ask for help sometimes if you need it. How about this one? If lips caught your eye first, you're realistic and always take things the way they are. You don't look for hidden meaning in what happens to you and what others say to you. It helps you get along with people well. If you notice the trees first, you're an ambitious person and a perfectionist to the core. You're never happy with just okay, and will always strive to be number one and make yourself and others happy. In the case the first thing you saw was the roots, you're an extremely progressive person. You love trying all the new technology and styles. You never settle and always try to make your life better and more exciting. Here comes the next one. If it looks like a parrot to you, you're the soul of any party. You like to be the center of attention, wear something bright, talk loudly, and laugh your heart out. You have plenty of friends who love that about you. If you see a girl in a beautiful long dress, you must be the mysterious, artsy type. You prefer to observe others being active and loud and get inspiration for your work. You notice little details and remember them to later put them on your canvas or paper. You have 10 seconds to decide what you see in this illusion here. If it's clearly an image of an elephant and a giraffe, you're a reliable and hardworking person. You feel responsible for yourself and your work and don't like to let others down. People appreciate you for that and share their secrets with you. If you saw some rabbits between the trees, you're not as simple as you might seem. You always think before you say or do something. You have a strategy for every life situation. It's important to you to be accepted and loved by others, so you do a lot to please them. New illusion, same task. If you see just two horses crossing a waterfall, you're an adventurous person. When someone offers trying something new or going to a new place, you're always up for it. You realize you might not like it in the end, but you'd rather try it and be sad than regret not going. In case you noticed several faces first, you always see the big picture and can find the right decision quickly. You know what you want and how to get there and never reconsider your own choices. These qualities will take you far in your career. Moving on. What a beautiful landscape, but is it hiding something? If all you see here is some sea and rocks, you're a calm and balanced person. Sometimes you're in a bad mood, but you always look on the bright side of life and move on. If you also noticed some animals drawn on the rocks, you have a great eye for detail. You always listen to both parties in a conflict before taking sides. You like doing research and drawing logical conclusions. Alright, what does this one say to you? In case you're positive it's a portrait of a young girl, you're an extrovert and can't survive a day without people. You're active on social media and enjoy going to social events where you can make even more friends. If you see some horses and birds, you're more of an introvert. You love being alone outside. You have some great friends, but you appreciate your personal space. Those who see the face and the horses at once, you've got the best of both worlds. You feel comfortable at a party with a few hundred new people around and alone reading a book. What can you say about this illusion? Those who see a face of a woman, you're realistic and pretty content with your life. You don't expect too much from others and are ready to stand your ground if you have to. If you see a saxophone player, you often prefer your imaginary world to the real one. In your dreams, you have turned your favorite hobby into a career. Try doing that in real life. What are your thoughts on this one? If it's clearly an older man to you, you've always been wiser and more reasonable than others your age. That's why people often ask you for advice, and you enjoy helping them out. If you see a young girl and an older man in the arch, you'll always be a child at heart. Your family means the world to you, and you always ask them for advice and protection. Get ready for a new set of absolutely amazing optical illusions. Concentrate hard and don't let them trick you. Number 1. Look at these circles attentively, and you'll notice they're rotating. But that's just an illusion. The circles are completely still. Number 2. Which is bigger, the hat's height or its width? They're absolutely the same. Your eyes are playing tricks on you. Number 3. Which tower is leaning more? Ha! Look at that, they're the same. Even though one tower seems to be lopsided when placed next to a copy of itself, this is called the leaning tower illusion. Number 4. How many colors do you see in this image? However many you might see, in reality, there are only 3. Number 5. The patterns in this picture seem to be moving. But once you focus on one of the ovals, the whole image becomes still. Number 6. What do you see in this picture? A moving star? Well, the star part is correct, but in reality, it's a static image. Once again, if you concentrate on any of its parts, the picture will stop moving. Number 7. It seems as if there are 3 cylinders in this image, and they're all rotating. But you know what to do. Stare at the center of the picture and all the movement will stop. Number 8. Which pencil is longer? They are of the same length. Number 9. Can you find 3 animals in this picture? Three bunnies are hiding in the tree branches. Number 10. Look at this rotating thingy. There's no doubt it's a 3D image, but in reality, it's just a set of rotating figures that creates such a 3-dimensional effect. Number 11. Look at the screen and move your head forward and backward while focusing on the center of the image. When you come closer, the lines will seem to rotate counterclockwise. As soon as you start to move away from the image, the lines will rotate clockwise. Number 12. There is something hidden in this grid. Can you figure out what it is? If you can't spot it, try to shake your head, move further from the screen, or screw up your eyes. And just in case it hasn't helped either, let me make the grid less bright. Here we go. A lovely kitty. Number 14. Can you figure out which word is hidden here? That's bedside. Number 15. Look at this image and say which string is tied to the banana. I was almost sure it was string number 2, but in fact, that's the third one. Number 16. Which word is brighter? If you remove the grid, it'll become obvious that both words are of the same color. Number 17.
Each horizontal band seems to be lighter in the middle and darker near the boundaries. But in reality, all of them are of a uniform shade. Number 18. Which line is longer, A or B? They're both of the same length. This illusion is created because your mind perceives this image in 3D space. That's why your brain tells you that the line which is closer to you must be shorter than the more distant one. Number 19. Are the woman's eyes of the same color? In fact, they are. You can make sure of it by comparing the color of her eyes and the hair accessory. Number 20. At first sight, it's just a red fan rotating over a bright green background. But try to concentrate on the black dot in the middle. You'll notice that the green under the fan is brighter than that of the surrounding ring. And the fan blades are actually redder than the central disc. Number 21. These two discs are pulsating, changing between dark and light. But are they doing it at the same time? Keep watching, and you'll see that it depends on the background. When it's light, the discs pulsate in sync. But when one part of the background is light and the other is dark, the discs seem to pulse not simultaneously. Number 22. Which word is hidden in this image? That's the word quality. Number 23. Which creature has a longer mouth, yellow or green? Their mouths are of the same length. Number 24. How about this picture? Which word does it hide? High five if you spotted the word quite. Number 25. That's how a set of simple straight lines can trick your brain. The square made up of vertical lines looks wider and shorter than the one formed of horizontal lines. Number 26. Look at this pyramid made of elongated diamonds. Are these diamonds darker at the top or at the bottom of the pyramid? All diamonds are identical, even though it surely doesn't look like that. But once we start moving around them, this way, and comparing them with one another, it becomes obvious. Number 27. Find 3 animals hidden in this image. Right you are. There are 3 foxes over there in the tree. Number 28. Look at the wheel moving behind the red picket fence. Its spokes seem to be bent at the bottom. There's nothing wrong with the wheel, and the spokes are perfectly straight. Want to make sure? Look, the fence is becoming transparent. Here you go. Number 29. Now, this wheel seems to be rotating clockwise, and the spokes are moving counterclockwise. But if you look at one of the spokes attentively, you'll notice it's actually staying in one place. Or rather, it makes a tiny shift forward and then returns to its place. Number 30. Which word is hidden in this image? It's feather. Number 31. What do you see in this picture? There's no definite answer here. Some people notice footprints, others 5 bowling pins. Number 32. How about this picture? Are those 3 pairs of alternating grooves and ridges? Or maybe you see 3 shiny oval tubes. The main trick is that the right side of the image looks like a folded surface and the left resembles the tubes. Number 33. Which word do you see here? It's the word change. Number 34. Look at the blue lines. They seem to be moving in pairs. And how about now? They suddenly form an outline of a diamond. Number 35. These wooden railroad tracks seem to be different in size. The lower one looks larger than the one at the top, but if we switch them, it becomes obvious that they're identical in size. Number 36. Do these horizontal lines seem parallel to you? And what if I tell you they are, and what you see is just an illusion? Number 37. Try to figure out which line is longer here. If your answer is, "Come on, I know they're of the same length," you're absolutely right. Number 38. Can you see anything unusual in this picture? There's a Dalmatian hiding here. Number 39. There seems to be a bulge in the middle of this checkerboard. But in reality, this checkerboard is regular, and each of its checks is perfectly square. You'll see it once we remove the tiny black and white ticks. Number 40. The blue horizontal stripes in this picture can't be parallel, right? But if we remove all the additional elements, it'll become apparent that the lines are not oblique.
Well, who do you see here? If you guessed one of the world's most beloved redheads, Ed Sheeran, you got it right. But there's someone else hidden in this picture. If you can't see it, try squinting your eyes really hard. Or maybe take a few steps back from the screen. Yes, stand back. Just a bit more. There. Now, can you see how he suddenly turned into Lady Gaga? This illusion is known as a hybrid image, and it happens because we are blending the low spatial frequencies of one picture with the high spatial frequencies of another. So, depending on your viewpoint, you see two different images. Put simply, all the fine lines in this image are from Ed Sheeran. But when those thin contours disappear, we see the blurred big picture, which is Gaga. The same effect happens here. We all read the word Southwest very clearly, right? But watch what happens when we make this text really, really small. Now all we can see is the word Northeast appearing right in front of us. Enlarge it again and you'll see that Southwest was there all along. People often see hidden faces in everyday things, like this pepper that looks like the Grinch, or this root that looks like a little dancer. And this bicycle, oh my, it looks just like an extraterrestrial being playing a saxophone. This phenomenon of seeing faces in ordinary objects is so common that it even has a name, pareidolia. That's why we can look at a beautiful landscape like this and see a really familiar face in it. Can you tell who it is? Yes, amazing! It's the one and only Beyoncé. And how about now? Does this face look familiar to you? Pay close attention to this image and you will find the answer. So, tell me, did you spot Adele? Yep, here she is. Roar! Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, but this dinosaur has something really strange going on. Answer in the comments. Do you see this black silhouette rotating to the left or to the right? Or maybe both? Yes, that's the correct answer. This dino is a type of ambiguous image, so it can appear to be rotating both ways. This effect becomes even clearer when we see the 3D version of the image. Can you see it now? The key here is that the static black version of the image is depth ambiguous. I mean, if we pause the image, the silhouette can either look like the dino's head is closest to us, or like it's further away, looking backwards. And that's why our brain can get so confused. Oh look, it's the lovebirds Zendaya and Tom Holland. but in a creepy form. It's clear that they're sharing the same body, but can you tell who's holding whose head? Is Zendaya trying to bring Tom Holland closer to her? Or is it the other way around? Well, both answers are correct, as this is another example of an ambiguous image. Keep looking at this image and get ready to have your brain twisted in the best way possible. With these green circles in place, you can't help but see a bunch of red spheres spinning around their own little center points, almost as if they're in pairs, right? But now, poof, the green circles are gone. Stare at the center of the image, and you'll see that even though each little sphere is moving exactly the same way, your whole perception changes. It looks like the pairs have suddenly formed a whole new pattern. Instead of orbiting pairs, it now seems like you're watching two big intersecting circles of spheres, pulsing and shifting around each other in a hypnotic dance. Here are 3 cars lined up in a row. Can you tell which one looks bigger? Car number 1, number 2, or number 3? Got your answer? If you picked number 3, you're not alone. It does look bigger than the others, but actually, that's not correct. The answer isn't number 2 or number 3 either, because all 3 cars are exactly the same size. How can that be? This is an illusion created by the angle of the image, which totally throws off our sense of perspective. When something is closer to us, it appears bigger. So when we see an image like this, our brains assume the cars farther back must be smaller. And if there's something in the photo that makes it look like things are getting farther away, like the road in this case, it adds to the effect, making our brains think, wait, if that car isn't shrinking, it must be huge. But no, it's just an optical illusion. Ever seen a cube that's just not quite right? Say hello to the impossible cube. At first glance, it looks like a regular 3D cube, but the more you stare, the more things don't add up. The corners and edges twist in ways that are totally illogical. Some lines seem to go in front, while others slip behind, creating a shape that could never actually exist in real life. The same thing happens in this image. On the left side, the 2 plates seem to align horizontally, but when you shift your gaze to the right, the plates suddenly look like they're aligned vertically, as if the pink one is higher than the blue one. It's all about tricking your brain into thinking it's looking at a solid, possible object, when in reality, these impossible images break all the rules of geometry. Emma Stone is just amazing, and her gaze is incredibly captivating. But we can make her stare even more hypnotizing. Want to see it? Wow, doesn't it look like her eyes are jumping right at you? That's all because of the background image. The patterns and colors make it look like everything is moving, even though it's not. If you doubt it, just pause the video for a sec, and you will see that her eyes are still coming closer and closer to you. Speaking of eyeballs, how many different eye colors do you see here? I'll give you a little time to count them all, but I have to warn you, this is a tricky one, and there are probably fewer colors than you might think. Okay, time's up. What's your answer? If you guessed 20, that's because you counted each eye as a separate color. Or maybe you noticed that the red eye in the top right corner is pretty close to the red eye in the bottom right corner. So they could actually be the same color. Well, let me tell you that even if you manage to spot a pair or 2 of matching colors, your final answer is probably still way over the correct total. Ready for the correct answer? There are only 5 colors here, 1 for each column. What you are experiencing here is a version of the Munker white illusion. You probably think there are about 20 different colors in this image because overlaying black and white lines on a shape changes our perception of colors. Look at the center of this image. Perfect. Keep your eyes focused there and try not to blink. Let's make this interesting with a little bet, okay? If I can make your hand look like it's moving, I win and get to ask for a prize. If not, you win, but you really have to give it your best shot. Keep focusing on the center. Now I'm going to count to 3, and when I'm done, you will look at one of your hands, all right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go on! Now, tell me, does your hand feel like it's moving in a weird way? Like little waves are flowing through it? Well, looks like I won the bet, and the prize I'm picking is for you to share this video with your friends so they can experience this wild illusion too. Deal?
Look at the dot in the center for 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Now quickly look at the ceiling and blink a few times. The colored squares have just moved there. What a beautiful pattern of rectangles. But just give it a second look and you'll see they are in fact circles floating against the striped background. Stare at the central dot for 10 seconds and see what happens. Wow! The colored circles switch places. In fact, they're both gray now, and your brain makes you see colors that aren't really there. This illusion can make your phone grow. Stare at it. Magic is happening. Keep staring. Now, quickly look at the back of your phone. The logo is moving. How many colors do you see in this image? If you answered 3, you're a bit wrong. There are just 2 colors here, black and white. The grid creates the illusion of gray as they intersect. What about this one? There are just 3 colors here, red, blue, and yellow. The inner squares only seem different because of the grids and backgrounds. This grid is broken, but you can fix it right now. Stare at the center of the grid for 15 seconds and see what happens. Told ya! It all looks in order now. This happens because your brain prefers to see regular patterns. It's spread from the center to the edges of the grid. This image is perfectly static. Just stare at one part of it. Yep, it isn't moving anymore. This is one example of peripheral drift illusions. Your brain lags a bit when it's processing areas with different light intensity and makes you think the image is animated. Can you tell if this one is moving or static? I give you 10 seconds to figure it out. Static again. Contrasting colors create the illusion of motion. How many animals do you see here? There are 8 of them hiding between the lines. If you saw 5 or more, you'll have the eye of an eagle. Can you tell which of these 2 yellow lines is longer? It seems obvious the answer is the higher line. In fact, they're absolutely the same length. Your brain gets distracted by other elements in the image, like background lines, and you see the image in a distorted way. What about these 2 lines? Which one is longer? Again, they're the same length. The way circles are set makes the upper line seem longer to you. How many colors are mentioned here? If you got 7, great job. Nothing can distract you. Can you find the mistake here? The number sequence is alright, but you don't need an extra V. Let's go under the C. Find 3 differences between these images in 10 seconds. Good job! Same task here. Did you spot them all? These images are different in 3 details. Can you name them? Fantastic! Oh, this looks delicious. Again, there are 3 differences between the images. Hope you found them all. These 2 images are different in 5 details. Try to name them in 10 seconds. Well done! Can you find 5 differences between these two? Well, nothing can hide from you. Help these kittens find 8 hidden objects. Meow, thank you. This dog is made of many little things. Can you spot 13 of them? Amazing! The fall is a busy time for farmers. Make their life easier and find 20 hidden objects they need. Wow, you could be a detective! Did you find 20 objects in this image? Feel free to pause the video if you need more time. Great job! This time, you only have to find 12 hidden things, but it's trickier because of all those dots. You did it! Moving on. What you see in these optical illusions can tell a lot about your personality. What is this one to you? Those who clearly see the mountains covered with snow mostly have their feet on the ground. You take things the way they are, like to plan everything, and move ahead step by step. If you spotted the horses first, you like to be ahead of everyone and live at full speed. You're rather impatient and get bored of tedious work that needs a lot of attention. Now, what catches your eye here? If it's a peaceful creek in the woods, you always see the big picture. You stay calm even when everyone around you is losing it. You always know how to choose the right option out of many quickly. If it's a grumpy face to you, you tend to overthink things and see a catch in every situation and offer. You don't make friends easily, but when you do, it's forever. Time for the next illusion. Those who see a face here, you have a bright mind and you like to keep it busy. You're good at solving tasks of any difficulty, and you come up with the best ideas. Those who see a beautiful lady in a dress in this one, you're artists at heart. You take inspiration almost from anything and anywhere. You write, paint, sing, or create music, and it makes you happy. This one's pretty plain, or is it? If you see an owl landing, you're a great team player and easy to work with. You don't mind sharing credit for what you've done with others. Sometimes you're too afraid to speak up. Remember, your ideas are worth it. If it's a girl looking in the distance to you, you have amazing communication skills. You feel comfortable even in front of the crowd and like to share everything about your life on social media. How about this one? If it's a waterfall to you, you love travel and explore new places. You aren't afraid of anything except for boredom. You always say yes to new adventures and places. If you see a young couple here, you're a true romantic. You believe that love always wins. Even when someone's mean to you, you forgive them easily and try to find an explanation for what they did. What are your thoughts on this image? If it's a person standing alone on a rock to you, you're mostly an introvert. You need your alone time to bring your thoughts in order and recharge. You don't have many friends, but you're loyal to them. If it's a face of a girl to you, you often live in the world of your dreams. You always try to improve your life and sometimes forget to see the good in everyday life. Try seizing the day every once in a while. What does this one look like to you? If it's a pattern of trees, you aren't afraid to tell the truth, no matter what it is. You have a point on anything, and it's not easy to make you change your mind. Sometimes it's okay to ask others for advice and follow it. If you see a girl with her back to you, you're afraid to hurt the feelings of others. You try to avoid conflict by all means, and sometimes agree with others just to make them feel better. What animal do you see first in this curious pattern? If the giraffe is the first animal you saw, you're funny, influential, and charismatic. Like me. You're spontaneous and always full of energy. That's why you have plenty of friends. You can convince anyone of anything. Use this talent wisely. If you spotted the cat first, you don't like talking a lot and prefer to watch from a distance and analyze what you see. You're independent and self-sufficient, so you make your own rules and follow them. If you saw the duck first, you are a 100% optimist. You enjoy every moment and enjoy looking on the bright side of life. You enjoy exploring new places, learning new skills, and your curiosity has absolutely no limits. If the elephant has caught your eye first, you are loyal and genuine. You care deeply about everything and everyone around you. Your family and friends know they can always ask you for help, and you'll solve any problem. In case you notice the bear first, you're logical and conservative. You have your own values, and you like to live by the rules. You're thoughtful and observant and aim for harmony. Those who paid attention to the rabbit, you're full of energy and spread joy like no other person. You've a great sense of humor and rich imagination. You like to share that happiness with others and easily become the soul of any party. In case the lion was the first animal you saw, you're a leader by nature. You like setting goals and achieving them, no matter how hard it gets. People gladly follow you because you're always 100% positive of your success. And if you saw an octopus, an optometrist is in your future because there's no octopus there. Time for an eye test. Just joking with you. Wow, you'll have 5 seconds for each of the illusions. Get ready for your mind to be bent. Can you tell which of the 2 yellow lines is longer? Seems obvious to me. Oh wow, I was wrong. None of them is longer. They are exactly the same length. This is a Ponzo illusion, not a Ponzi scheme. Your brain judges an object's size based on its background. Here, your brain decides the upper line that's further away has to be longer to catch up with the line that's closer. Here's another one for you. Do you think these lines are parallel to each other? Yep, they perfectly are. Again, your brain judges them based on their surroundings. All those short intersecting lines make you believe the longer lines are messed up. What about the red lines in this image? Are they straight or curved? This is the herring illusion. The seemingly curved lines are perfectly straight and parallel to each other. The background makes you think otherwise. How many colors can you see here? Did you get red, purple, and green? In that case, you're all wrong. If you zoom in on this illustration, you can see all the spheres are of the same color. The stripes in the foreground make you believe the spheres are of different colors too. If you remove that foreground from the image, you'll see all the spheres are beige. Welcome to Ames' room. Nothing is impossible here. Which of these 2 people do you think is larger? An Ames room only seems to be a normal rectangular construction. It has slanted walls and an inclining ceiling and floor. The right corner is closer to you than the left corner. Your brain is used to rectangular rooms, so it corrects the image for you. The room seems normal, and the people inside seem weird. How many prongs do you think this trident has? The correct number is 3. Nah, just kidding. That would be too obvious. The empty space between the prisms forms the central prong. Take a closer look at the top of the prongs. There are just 2 openings. Can you tell what animal is hiding here? The secret here is to shake your head back and forth, or you can zoom out on the image. When you see the tiny version of it, it's obvious there's a cat hiding behind all those lines. Now, focus on one point of this image for at least 15 seconds. Don't think of anything else, just keep looking. Can you see the image disappearing? It happens because the neurons in your brain filter information. They decide what's essential and what's useless. When you focus on one point, your brain receives no new information. Your peripheral vision takes new data from the surrounding white background and adapts the graphic to it. Here's the next illusion for you. Can you tell if the circles are moving or standing still? This image isn't animated. It's an example of a peripheral drift illusion that makes you see still images as moving ones. When you stare at one part of the image without blinking, that part stops moving. Can you count all the black dots in this image? Three, 4, 6? There are 12 of them, but you can't see them all at once. That's because your peripheral vision fails you at tasks like this. What do you see in this image? If you're sure there are some lines and a light blue circle in the middle, you're wrong. The background is entirely white. You see the non-existent light blue circle because your brain adds color into the bare negative spaces. What about this one? What colors are these funky shapes? Just like in the previous illusion, they're all empty and white. That's a watercolor illusion. Your brain fills in the shape that has a bright line and a darker line at its borders with a brighter color. Now, can you tell if this image is 3D? It's perfectly flat. The white shade in the middle creates the bulge effect. If you move closer, you'll notice it spread its luminance. The task here is simple. Follow this spiral from the beginning to the end. Gotcha! You can't do it, because this spiral isn't a spiral. It's made up of concentric circles. Your brain fills in the gaps for you because it's confused by this crazy background. Can you tell which rectangles are darker? Believe it or not, the rectangles under columns A and B are the exact same color. The surrounding black and white bars make you believe column A is way darker. Can you find the right shadow for this fun couple? No, it's this one. Only one of the locks is unlocked. Can you spot it in 5 seconds? Good job! This drawing is missing one piece. Pick the right one out of the 3 possible options. Well done! There's a little mouse hiding somewhere between the mushrooms. Your task is to find it. There it is, cute little thing. One of these jellyfish can't swim because it's an air balloon. Can you see it? Well, it does look a lot like a jellyfish. What's that chirping? All birds but one are having a chat. One of them doesn't speak their language. It's a snail right here. I'd love to have some coffee. Please help me find it. Yay, it was hiding here all the time. All penguins look alike, but one is more special than the others. Can you spot it? This little guy right here has slightly different eyes. Let's take it one level up. Can you find the odd one out here? You could be a detective with your sharp eyes. One of these plants is slightly different from the others. You have 5 seconds to find it. Here it is. All these moons must produce a lot of light. Pick the odd one out. I knew it. How about a little safari? The zebra on the right is different from its pal on the left in 5 ways. Can you name them all? I only found 3 differences. Oh, now I see. How about these lions? Again, there are 5 not-so-obvious differences between them. Did you get them all? What about these antelopes? Oh, I didn't see the red nose. What a beautiful and peaceful landscape. It's different from the one on the left in 5 ways. Name them all. Well done! Here are 2 scenes from a busy city life for you. The task remains the same. I only managed to find 3 differences here. Let's go see some waterfalls. Something is wrong with the second image. I got it. What about you? The fall is my favorite season. Can you notice 5 ways these pictures don't match? Fantastic! It's beach time, but you can't relax until you find 5 differences here. Well, enjoy your well-deserved rest. Alright, enough. Moving on. What you see in the next images can tell a lot about your personality. Let's start with this one. If it's a woman reading a book to you, you're a practical and goal-oriented person. You work a lot. You're great at planning and know how to keep your emotions under control. Those who notice Salvador Dali's face, first of all, are artists at heart. Even if your job doesn't have to do with creativity, you find your own ways to express yourself through drawing, writing, or music. If you noticed an armchair first, you never look for easy and obvious solutions in your life. You always surprise everyone else with your unique vision of the world. How about this one? What do you see here? If they're women with umbrellas to you, you've plenty of friends because you're open-minded and mix with new people easily. You enjoy spending time surrounded by others and share everything with them. If it's a sad man's face to you, you're wise beyond your years. Sometimes you need to stop and think about life. At these moments, you prefer to be alone. You don't have that many friends, but you're loyal and always ready to help them. Alright, what can you say about this image? If it's a man sitting down by the water to you, you must be smart and careful with what you do and what you say. You always think twice before making an important decision and rarely regret anything you've done. If you see a face here, you're more emotional than rational. You'll always pick a new and unknown path and never think for too long when you have to make a decision. It's easy to make you cry or smile, but you get over things quickly as well. Here's another illusion for you. If it looks like a couple of playful squirrels to you, you must be a natural explorer. You don't feel happy staying in one place and are always the first to try new things and visit new places. You're active, charismatic, and fun to be around. If you clearly see a woman's face here, you prefer to stick to the plan and don't like surprises. You're a natural leader and great at delegating tasks to others. They respect you and follow your lead. What about this one? If it looks like a lifeless forested area to you, you're most likely better at sciences than at arts. You can fix any gadget, or at least carefully follow the instructions to one of those. Your mind is a well-organized chamber. If you instantly saw animals here, you must be into arts and creativity. You don't even know manuals exist. You like to live in the moment and always listen to your heart.
Yep, this is technically Kim Kardashian's face. I know. How can someone so beautiful look so weird? I'll give you a second to figure out what's going on here. Let's see if your mind can figure out what your eyes can't really understand.
Oh.
Right, we should totally try it with other public figures, but let me explain the logic behind it first. You just witnessed the magic of the inverted face effect. This optical illusion was discovered 45 years ago, and it continues to wow people. Here's how it works. The picture is turned upside down, but key features of the person's face are kept the right way up. For the magic to happen, you can't change everything in the picture, just key features like the eyes and the mouth. The illusion revealed a glitch in how our brain processes faces. Apparently, we don't think about a face as a whole. We understand each of its components and then assemble it into a whole. Now let's take a look at Lady Gaga for a sec. While you're staring, try to figure out what on earth is going on. I mean, it's just too funny. Hey, is this supposed to be Ariana Grande? I mean, I almost didn't recognize her there. This illusion should get its own Instagram filter, but hey, I'll finally tell you what it's all about. Okay, I've got something cool to show you. Keep your eyes glued to this image for a sec. Do you see what's happening to those edges? They're fading away, like they just disappeared into thin air, right? And then those empty spots suddenly turn greenish. This mind-boggling effect is known as the Troxler fading illusion. When you focus on one spot for too long, your brain decides to ignore the rest. It's like it's saying there's nothing new happening there, so it just tunes out for a second or two. So while you think you're soaking in the whole picture, your brain is quietly figuring out the boring bits. You've got to trust me on this one. If you keep looking long enough through these black and white dots, something, or better yet, someone, is going to appear. I'll give you a hint. This person sings and is young and beautiful. Did you get that reference? It's Lana Del Rey, ladies and gentlemen. You just need to readjust your eyes and look for the shape behind all that distraction. But there we go. Great work. Here's an unusual scene. Shakira and Miley Cyrus together in a room. But why does Shakira look like a giant and Miley look so small? In real life, Miley is taller than Shakira. Come on, I'll give you a few minutes to try to figure this one out. This is an old-school optical illusion. If you've been to a kids' museum, odds are one of the exhibits was the Ames room. The setup makes us completely distort the perception of the scene. Let's take a look behind the scenes. The Ames room is built with both the floor and ceiling at a certain angle, which turns the room into a trapezium. When you see it, your eyes are tricked into believing both sides of the room are the same. But no. It all comes down to how your eyes perceive depth. If someone walks to the left hand of the room, they're actually further away and the ceiling is higher. They appear as a smaller image before your eyes. And the opposite happens on the right-hand side of the room. Alright, check out this staircase. Looks pretty normal, I know. Now let's flip it upside down. It still looks like a staircase, but instead of moving from right to left, it seems to go from left to right. The secret is YOUCANNOTBLINK. If you do, the illusion will vanish, and you'll be back to the original image. This little brain teaser is called the Schroeder staircase. It might seem simple, but it reveals some seriously important stuff about how our brains work. If you break down the staircase, you'll see it's actually flat. What your brain interprets as a 3D image is just a clever mix of shadows and light. Basically, that 3D effect is just another optical illusion. Our brains grab images and try to make sense of them based on what we already know. So when it spots a shadow in a 2D image, it fills in the gaps and sees depth where there isn't any. In this case, it tricks us into thinking we're looking at a 3-dimensional perspective. How wild is that? Wait, you don't need special goggles to understand what Adele's face is doing here. Just keep looking at the little white dot at the center of this image for a bit. Don't worry, I'll tell you when you can stop. Take your time and soak in her face. We need your full attention for just a few seconds. When I say go, I'll need you to stare directly into a white wall or a blank piece of paper. 3, 2, go, now! Pretty cool, huh? This is called the negative afterimage illusion. First, you need to look at an image with inverted colors for a few seconds. Then, when you turn to look at a white page or wall, you'll get to see the original image, aka Adele's beautiful face. It looks like magic, but let me explain why this is scientific. This trick happens because your eyes and brain are big fans of contrast. When they're hit with opposite colors, they try to balance things out by filling in the right colors. So even though the screen's blank, your mind plays color artist and paints the correct shades in your imagination. Oh, another one with a bunch of black and white bars. Who shall be hidden beneath it? Keep looking and you'll find it. Think of the word baby several times with some funky melody. Did you see it? I mean him. Yep, it's Ed Sheeran. Ready to get confused? Take a look at this trending optical illusion. Stare for a couple of seconds and don't move your eyes. Do you notice anything weird? So there's this grid with broken edges. If you keep looking at the center of the image for a few seconds, those broken edges magically start fixing themselves in your side vision. It's like your brain can't resist seeing patterns. This illusion was created by Ryota Kanai and was actually a finalist in the 2005 Best Illusion of the Year contest. Kanai himself explains that this illusion shows how our visual brain just loves regular patterns. Don't you just love snakes? These ones aren't scary at all. You can stare at them moving around all day long. Which direction are they moving to you? Are they moving at all? This may shock you, but these guys are stationary. It's all about those repeating asymmetrical patterns and clever color combos. We've got lighter shades like yellow and white hanging out with darker blues and blacks. This funky mix tricks your retina into sending signals to your brain, making those circles look like they're spinning. Want to call out this illusion for what it really is? Just fix your gaze on one part of the image. Keep staring, and you'll see those circles gradually slow down and come to a stop. Neat, right? Now, the last illusion, and if this one doesn't trick your brain, I give up. Look at this photo. It's black and white, isn't it? Take your time to answer. Right now, your brain is probably trying its best to make you see colors, but please, don't fall for that. You're looking at a black and white picture with green, red, orange, yellow, and blue grid lines over it. This highly saturated color grid overlaid on a grayscale picture makes the gray cells seem colorful. But if you want to break the spell, just zoom in. This way, you'll be able to see the true colors of the original photo.
How many shades of gray can you count in this bar? The correct answer is 11. Nah, just kidding. The bar in the middle is one constant color. The background makes you see more than one shade of gray here. You can see it if you cover the spaces above and below the bar. Can you tell which of the surfaces is darker? Is it A or B? Surface A only seems obviously darker. In reality, they are exactly the same color. Cover the middle of the drawing with your hand to check it. Scientists still can't explain this illusion. One theory says this might be because of how your brain interprets the signals from the photoreceptors in your eyes. The most active cells reduce the activity in neighboring ones, and this creates a contrast that's not in fact real. Now, find the darkest square in this picture. Whichever square you chose, you can't be right. They're all the same color, just set against different backgrounds. Moving on, do you pick white or black pieces? I'll let you choose. Well, you can't pick black or white here because the pieces are all the same color. The background and the way you perceive light explains this illusion. How many colors do you see here? I clearly see 4. It's actually 2. Red and green, one shade of each. You get the illusion there are different colors here because some of them are surrounded by white and some by green boxes. By the way, white isn't a color in scientific terms. It's the presence of all colors. That's why we don't count it as one. Here's another one for you. Which side is darker? Nope, it's not the right side. It's one shade of red that seems darker on the right because of the black background. Oh no, this table is tilting to the right and about to turn over. Or is it? No worries, it's perfectly stable. The slanted lines create this tilting effect. Both rectangles are parallel. You can check it with a ruler. How many faults do you see in this square? The correct answer is 0. This square by Walter Ehrenstein is perfect. It seems curved because it's placed inside a pattern of concentric circles. Would you prefer a rectangular or square table? No matter which one you chose, just take any. They're of exactly the same shape and size. Here's a classic Ponzo illusion. Which of the green lines is longer? It's the one in the foreground. Just kidding, they're the same length. This illusion works because your brain interprets the image with perspective, and it's just a simple 2D image. How about a ride? Do you think this Ferris wheel is moving clockwise or counterclockwise? Sorry guys, the ride is closed today. Any movement you see here is just an illusion. Here's an easy one for you. Try to quickly say the color of these words. Hey, it takes forever to focus on the colors without reading them. The right half of your brain is trying to name the colors, and the left half is trying to make you say the words. This is known as the Stroop effect, and it's used as a test for jobs where concentration is a must. Can you count all the gray dots at the intersections in this grid? The correct answer is 0. This is a Hermann grid illusion. Your brain makes you think they are gray dots at the intersections because of the dark surroundings. If you look closer, all the dots are gone. Another good old classic, Necker cube. This was discovered in the 19th century. Do you think the blue wall is in the block or on the block? Is it the back wall or the side wall? There's no correct answer, so keep guessing. Is this just a set of some geometrical shapes, or does it have a secret message? Eureka! That's the correct answer. Are you up for a helicopter ride? Pick the one with a longer line on top. It's impossible. They're equal in length, and the surroundings make you believe otherwise. Time for some magic. You can turn this negative photo into a full-color image with the power of your brain. Stare at the dots at the center of the girl's face for about 30 seconds. Now, quickly turn your eyes to the center X of the white image on the right of the woman's face. Blink several times. Do you see the image of a girl in full color? If not, try staring at the negative image a bit longer, or sit closer or further from your computer monitor. This illusion works when your rods and cones get overstimulated. The cells viewing the darkest part of the image are least affected by this. When you look away, they react the strongest, and you can see the reverse of the original image. Some optical illusions with a double meaning can tell a lot about your personality. What do you see here? If it's a profile of a man to you, you're pretty realistic and take things for what they are. You trust others and easily rely on them at work and in your personal life. You mix with new people easily. If you notice the word liar, you always look for a hidden subtext in everything. It's not easy for you to trust others. Even when things are going just fine, you're always looking for some surprises coming your way. How many pandas do you see in this image? If it's just 2, you're an ambitious person focused on your goals. When you have a plan, nothing can take you off your course. You're direct and always say what you really think. If you saw 5 pandas or more, you're a really creative person. You always see the little things others might not notice. You get inspiration when you least expect it, even from basic everyday events. What does this one look like to you? If you see a huge eye on the ground, you're a settled person who's pretty content with their life. You have your home, job, and favorite places, and wouldn't give up this comfort for some unknown path. If you see a landscape with some deep green abyss or a volcano crater, you long for adventures. You can't wait to explore the world, and your biggest fear is settling down and not getting the chance to travel. Time for the next illusion. Those who see a face of a young girl here are pretty emotional and sentimental people. You miss someone or something that made you really happy and still can't let go. Try to accept the best is yet to come into your life. Those who see a young man staring at a landscape here are at the crossroads of their lives. You realize you need some changes to be happier, but you don't know what to start with. All roads are open to you. Just take that first step. Here's a really tricky one. If it looks like a landscape with a horseman to you, you're more extroverted than introverted. You enjoy your alone times, but mostly need the company of others to share with. You're fun, easygoing, and a great team player. If you see a wolf here, you must be more introverted than extroverted. You feel comfortable in your own company and aren't afraid to listen to yourself. You aren't afraid of responsibility and prefer to get all the credits for what you've done.
Look who it is, the one and only Timothée Chalamet.
Ooh.
Two things we know about his looks. He has a gazillion lookalikes in New York City, and he possesses an androgynous beauty. You want to see some proof? Alright, let's zoom in on his face and focus on his eyes, nose, and mouth. Now, let's erase his stubble and double this picture. On the left side, we'll increase the contrast between his eyes and lips and the rest of his face. On the right side, we'll do the opposite by decreasing the contrast. Can you see any difference? Does Timothy look more feminine or more masculine in one of the photos? According to a researcher named Richard Russell, facial contrasts significantly contribute to how we perceive male and female faces. Female faces tend to be more attractive when their facial contrast is increased, while male faces are perceived as more attractive when their contrast is decreased. Now, what if I told you that Margot Robbie could be in the same room as you in just a few seconds? Trust me, all you have to do is focus on the red dot in the middle of this creepy image. In a moment, not just yet, I will ask you to look at your ceiling and blink super fast. Keep watching, and you will see Margot Robbie right above you. Wait just a little longer, and go. Look at your ceiling and start blinking. Do you see Margot? If you did, let us know in the comments below. Optical illusions are all around us, more than we realize. Think about those crazy viral 3D billboards that look like products, animals, and other things jumping right in front of our faces. What is really strange about them is that we see those images in 3 dimensions, but we don't need those funky 3D glasses with red and blue lenses. The secret behind this trick lies in a popular optical illusion called forced perspective. Yep, it's the same technique tourists use when they want to snap that classic photo that looks like they're holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Please don't. What happens is that our eyes, which are slightly separated, each see the world from a slightly different angle, which is known as binocular disparity. Our brains then combine those views to create depth in the images we see every day. So, 3D billboards are trying to copy that. That's why they always have curved displays with 2 faces. This way, animators can present similar images from 2 slightly different angles on each screen to create a 3D illusion. That's weird. Here we have half Anya Taylor-Joy and half Beyoncé. But hey, were their photos taken from the front or from the side? The correct answer is head-on, since they're both looking straight at the camera. But because the photos are cropped into side-profile silhouettes, it totally seems like they're facing sideways. Want to make things even weirder? Let's hide the photos and just leave 2 black silhouettes. Now what do you see? 2 people looking at each other, or a vase in the middle. This is a classic optical illusion called Rubin's vase. It was created around 1915 and is a famous example of an ambiguous image. It all depends on how our brains interpret the contours and the context of the image. If the context is the black color, you will see two people. If the context is yellow, you will see the vase. But there's no right or wrong here. Keep staring at the center cross. I know, the image is sickening, kind of literally. But you've come this far in the video, so don't quit now. Just keep focusing on the cross for a little longer. Now, on the count of 3, we will switch it to a photo of Shakira. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and wow! Okay, Shakira's hips don't lie, but they're totally moving. This motion doesn't make any sense since this is a static image. So, what's happening? This process is known as the waterfall illusion. It's basically a motion after effect that happens when you look at a stationary object after staring at something moving in one direction for a while. The name comes from the same experience you get after watching water in a waterfall move in one direction for a couple of seconds. When you stare at something moving in one direction, like the water in a waterfall, your brain's motion sensors focus on that downward motion. But after watching it for a while, those neurons get a bit tired of seeing the same downward movement and become less sensitive to it. So, when you finally look away, the neurons for the opposite motion, in this case upward, suddenly seem extra active by comparison. A similar thing happens here. Check out this dove. Even though the sky is red and looks kind of bizarre, the dove is pure white. But keep staring at it and something creepy will happen. In just a couple of seconds, we're going to change the sky to white and the dove will look strange. Are you ready? Here we go! Boom! If you are seeing what I'm seeing, the dove now appears to be red, more like a faint version of the red from the original background. This effect is called positive afterimage. And you want to see something even cooler? If we keep flipping back and forth between the two images really quickly, the effect gets even stronger. Can you see it? Now look over here at this dot. This illusion is known as the stepping feet, and you'll see why it has that name in just a couple of seconds. What you see here are two feet, one blue and the other yellow, moving smoothly and quickly in a horizontal line. Now, let's see what happens when we change this flat gray background by adding vertical stripes across the screen. Notice how it looks like the feet are taking little steps one at a time, right? So why does this happen? It's all about contrast. When the blue foot passes over the white stripes, the dark blue against the bright white stands out, making it look like it's moving faster. But when it crosses over the black stripes, the contrast drops, which makes it seem like it's slowing down. The yellow foot does the opposite. It looks faster on black and slower on white. Now, if we take away the stripes, there is no contrast shift to mess with our perception, and the illusion disappears. This optical illusion is the last one on our list, and there's a good reason for that. It can have effects that stick around for a long time, like hours, weeks. And some people have even reported effects lasting for almost 3 months. So, are you ready? Close your eyes for a second. Great. Now, open them. Look at this image and keep staring. At first glance, it looks like a bunch of stripes, both horizontal and vertical, in the background. But these aren't just any black lines. If you want to experience the lasting effects, you need to stare at it for at least 3 minutes. So, if you're feeling brave, go ahead and pause the video to set a timer. Next step. Look at this red picture. Focus on it. Again, to make the effect last longer, you should look at it for about 1.5 minutes. Feel free to pause the video so you can stare longer. Now, we have this green picture, which is very similar to the red one. Keep staring at it. If you want to test its maximum power, so to speak, pause the video and look for 1.5 minutes. Awesome! Now we come to the grand finale. We're back to square one with the black and white picture. If the effect worked for you, you might see red and green hues in this picture this time. But we promise you, we didn't make any color changes. It is all in your mind.
This fresh set of optical illusions will definitely challenge your visual perception.
If your brain isn't happy when you look at things that spin and flash, be careful and get somebody to watch this astonishing illusionary art with you. Ready? Go full screen and let's get started. Take a look at this pair of circles. It's not an illusion. They're identical and they do rotate. But they don't actually move across the screen. The arrows confuse your brain, so it seems that the circles are shrinking and even moving back and forth. If you manage to focus your gaze so that they stop moving, you're a wizard. What about this shining star? Is it static or dynamic? Although the star seems to be pulsing, its size doesn't change at all, but its popping color creates an illusion of movement. Let's move on to our next one. Check this out. Can you spot any movement? This picture is static, but if you take your time to look at these flowers carefully, your brain will definitely convince you that they're moving. What about this picture? The direction of this pattern makes the brain think that the circle is rotating to the left, but it's a lie. The same goes for this cute pattern. Can you see it spinning around? What about this picture? Can you spot any movement? Well, in this case, it's not surprising because this image is animated. An optical illusion is not always an optical illusion, so be careful. Let's take a look at the next one. This star seems to be dancing because its asymmetrical shape confuses your brain's expectations. Maybe it's time to ask ourselves, what else is my brain lying to me about right now? What can you say about this beautiful pattern? Is it just a basic optical illusion or an animated video? That's right, it's an animation. Here's our next one. If you focus all your attention on the middle of this picture, it will soon begin to move. But in fact, it stays the same. Don't let your brain play tricks on you. Your perception of this image may change if you blink a bunch of times and shake your head. Moving on, take a look at this tricky pattern. Is this image static? Yes, it truly is. Some optical illusions work by fooling around with contrasts in our field of vision. These two circles consist of small rotating striped circles. They appear to change the direction of rotating thanks to how our brains deal with information immediately within our focus. It's different from the way it processes peripheral information. You can see it when you focus on one circle and then on another. Are you dizzy yet? Let's move on to the next one. Zigzag is a great tool to create a bunch of optical illusions that can make you feel like you're flying. But this particular zigzag pattern is animated. Is it? Nope, it's a static picture. Be careful with zigzags. The next optical illusion will make you see with your eyes closed. All you have to do is stare at this Marilyn Monroe's nose at the center of this portrait. Continue staring at the same spot for at least 7 seconds, and try not to blink. Ready? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now take a look at your ceiling and blink a bunch of times. Close your eyes. Can you still see the portrait? Don't worry, it'll disappear in a few seconds. This optical illusion is called an after image. It appears after you've stared at an image for some time. Usually, it requires around 30 seconds. Then you close your eyes or look at a white piece of paper afterwards. Overstimulation makes the rods and cones in your eyes lose sensitivity. That's why for a short period afterward, you interpret colors as their paired primary color. Now, let's take a look at this tricky pattern. Is this image static or dynamic? It's not an optical illusion. This pattern is animated. If you managed to guess, great job! Now, let's take a look at this one. Do these spheres move across the screen? Nope, they don't. If you were careful enough, you noticed the top moving when you squinted and concentrated on the spheres. This optical illusion is static. But if you take your time and focus on the center of the screen, it will begin to rotate. Let's move on to our next one. This optical illusion will make you feel like a magician and level up your concentration skills. At this point, you probably see that the static circles begin to move, pop, and spin slightly. But which way? There's no right answer here. The largest circle probably spins to the left. But if you switch your focus to the center of the image, the same circle will begin to spin to the right. The movement will change depending on which layer of this image you're currently focusing on. Arrows inside these colorful circles may confuse your vision. Try not to look at them, and you'll notice that the circles inside this illusion aren't changing their shape or moving at all. It's pretty clear that this crazy watermelon isn't spinning, isn't it? Nope. If you screw up with your eyes, you can verify this by focusing your gaze on the sphere. See? It doesn't move anymore. This figure can begin to move like a snake, and the black points will begin to blink white. But don't let your brain fool you. This image is still the same. Are you dizzy yet? Let's experiment with disappearing dots. Focus on the central green dot. Try not to blink for a while. You will see one or more of the yellow dots disappearing and then reappearing randomly. Here's another illusion with disappearing dots. Thousands of people worldwide complained that this simple optical illusion had made them question reality. There are 12 black dots at the intersections of this image, but your brain won't let you see them all at once. Well, how many dots did you count? There are 12 black dots in this image, and it's a fact. But most people can't see all 12 dots at once. When you're focusing on that black dot in the center of your field of view, your visual system is automatically filling in what's going on around it. And this regular pattern of gray lines on a white background makes your brain suggest that there are no black dots at all. That's why you miss the intermittent black dots, or they disappear and reappear as your eye jitters around. This cute animation is also very tricky. It pictures a moon and 6 stars surrounding it. There's also a dotted circular layer moving in the background. Try not to move your head at all. If you manage to focus your eyes on the moon and stay perfectly still, you'll soon notice that the stars begin to disappear. How many of them did you make disappear? There's no one correct answer here. The number of disappeared stars depends on your perception. This tricky wheel can make your brain think that it rotates, but it's a lie. You may notice that the wheel changes the direction when you tilt your head to the right or to the left. This trick will make your hands melt like water. Don't worry, it's not forever. Keep staring at the center of the screen for 30 seconds. Try not to blink. Now, take a look at your hands. Are they melting? You can also look at some text and notice that your vision is wavy. Take a look at this tricky optical illusion. What can you say about this wheel? Is it static or dynamic? It's static. Your brain plays tricks on you. Now let's give your eyes a little break by changing the task. Can you spot an odd monkey out? Here it is. Can you find a different monster out? This guy in the right corner doesn't look as happy as the others. There are many zeros in here. Can you also see another hidden number? Here it is. Does this pattern consist of red apples only? Nope. Here's one tomato. Can you find two similar emojis among this variety? Here they are. What about this set of emojis? Can you see two identical emojis? Here they are. Take a look at these emojis. Are they all different? Nope. These two emojis are similar. How many emojis can you find among this variety? There are 3. What about this collection? Can you spot any identical emojis here? This task is tricky. All these emojis are different. If you manage to crack our trick, good job! Take a look at this set. Can you find a pair of identical emojis? Nope, it's impossible, because these two are similar. Does this cat crowd have any odd details? This guy over here is not a cat, it's a rabbit. Can you find a 4-leaf clover in here? Here it is. Lucky you.
How many colors do you see here? If your answer is 3, you're not wrong. Do you think it's 17? Could be.
What?
Although the image went viral just recently, the explanation to this mystery is at least a century and a half old. It was discovered by an Austrian math and physics professor, Mach. He noticed you can easily distinguish between similar colors of slightly contrasting shades when they're close to each other. When you set them apart, the difference is barely noticeable. The professor thought it had something to do with the construction of the eyeball and the tissue the retina is made of. The bands effect was later named Mach bands in his honor. Years later, when they had better technology, scientists found the professor was basically right. Your retina is similar to a cinema screen. It captures light that's projected through the pupil. Receptors are all over that screen. Some of them are more active under bright light and send a whole lot of signals to the brain. When two cells send similar signals, you might think it's the same shade. Nerves are trying to solve this problem. They send stronger signals to make the difference more obvious at the border of different shades. Your brain then notices a clear boundary. This explains why you can see the difference between similar shades when they're next to each other. The transition between colors can look like a separate color. Some people can't see the difference between contrasting colors in the picture because of how their brains are built. The color rendering abilities, brightness, and contrast of your laptop or smartphone screen is another reason. Then there's also the amount of lighting in your house or office. Plus, you don't have the same optics in your eyes that screen light as anyone else. You also have a unique level of pigment density that affects how your eyes absorb light. You could even have more than regular 3 cone cell types and see more colors than others. And some people are more affected by the Mach bands phenomenon than others. That's why there's no correct answer to how many colors the image contains. Sometimes, uncertainty can make different people see one thing differently. The dress that was somehow gold and white, blue and black, blue and white, and blue at the same time became a real sensation. The picture was taken on a cell phone in a really weird lighting and overexposed. You can't tell if it was taken inside or outside, and that means you don't know if it's artificial or natural light. It's not clear if the light illuminates the dress from the front or the back. If it were backlit, there would have to be a shadow. Parts of the dress itself were in shadow. That shadow was reflecting off the dress itself, complicating things even more. Confused? Me too. When your brain doesn't have enough information, it fills in the gaps by making its own assumptions. It mostly makes them based on what it's previously seen or known. That's why your brain could make one guess about lighting conditions and someone else's a totally different one. People who thought it was in a shadow believed the dress was white and gold. Same with those who thought it was in natural light. Shadows and blue sky overrepresent blue light and make things seem yellowish. Oh, and the retailer of the dress officially confirmed it was black and blue, and that it was sold out in the first 30 minutes of business the day after it had gone viral. A new debate over the color of retro sneakers happened a few years later for the same reason. Are they teal and gray, or maybe pink and white? You can't be sure with weird camera quality, flash, and funky lighting. When you zoom in on the picture, you can notice the hand is unnaturally bluish. So, depending on how sensitive your eyes are to light and how your brain fills the visual information gaps, the sneakers can look different to you. In reality, they turned out to be pink and white. Do these strawberries look red to you? In fact, they're gray and green. The picture has been drained of any red. Your brain still makes you see it because of something known as color constancy. Your brain can sometimes ignore information from the color of the light. It knows what strawberries are, and it also knows they're supposed to be red, so it helps you see them as such. When an astronaut posted a picture of some sand dunes, the internet thought they were pits, not hills. Only when they flipped the pic over, people could see dunes in the indefinite pattern. Turns out your brain thought the sun was in the 1 o'clock position. It means it's supposed to be casting shadows from the upper right. In reality, it was casting shadows from the upper left. So, turning it upside down makes things more usual to your brain. How many black spots can you see in this image? There are 12 of them, but most people can't see them all at once. All the dots are perfectly visible, but you can see each of them only when you look directly at it. Your peripheral vision isn't that perfect. Your brain has to fill in the blanks. The white between gray lines makes it think the dots are lighter than they are, so it decides to pretend there's just grayer and the dots aren't there. Although one of them looks twice the size of the other, these guys are of the same size. They're placed in an Ames room, invented by an American ophthalmologist in the 1940s. You'd have to look into a pinhole at a room that seems to be a regular square but is a trapezoid. The walls and ceilings are tilted, and this makes your eyes see one person tower over another even when they move around. If you have a toy train track at home, you can see how the next illusion works in reality. You take two segments of the same size and put them next to each other. One of them looks obviously larger than the other one. That's because your brain compares the two sides of the pieces that are next to each other. It compares the right side of the track that's on the left to the left side of the track that's on the right. When you compare squares A and B in the checker shadow illusion, you can tell square A is much darker than square B. Your brain expects the cylinder to throw a shadow on the board. It compensates for the alternating colors it expected to find. If you still don't believe the squares are of the same color, you can compare them with a color selector in any photo editing program. In the Ebbinghaus illusion, the two circles in the middle of their circle sets are of the same size. Turns out the way you perceive the size of things is all about context. The circle surrounded by larger ones seems smaller, and the one in the company of smaller circles seems to be a giant. There are 12 dots here, all of them are lilac. Your task is to stare at the cross in the middle of the dot ring. As one lilac dot disappears for a moment, a green dot takes its place. It also gradually wipes away other lilac dots one by one as it moves around the circle. This is the after-image effect in action. The rods and cones adjust to the constant disappearance of lilac dots. They replace it with a color from the opposite end of the spectrum, which is green. Seeing motion in a still image is one of the most common types of optical illusions. To create one, you have to build a pattern of high-contrast colors. They activate neural signals at the same time. This is how the fake motion effect appears. Café wall illusion was first described in the late 19th century. The tile pattern of a café wall had straight parallel lines and grout in between them. It seemed the black and white lines sloped diagonally. That's because different types of neurons in your brain react to dark and light colors. Some parts of the grout line seem brighter than others. Where there's contrast, there appears to be asymmetry.
They say seeing is believing, but is it really? Optical illusions have a mind-boggling way to trick our brains. They use a combination of color, light, or particular patterns that can make us see things that aren't there. Today, we're taking our brains for a test drive and seeing how these illusions work. Let's start easy. Behind all of these little black dots, there's an image. Are you part of the 1% of people that can see it? It's a minion. Congrats if you spotted that. Here's another one in this style. Can you see what's hidden here? It's a ninja turtle. Honestly, you did need to be a bit of a ninja to see that one. And what about this one? It's Homer Simpson. So now there's something hidden behind black stripes. How's your X-ray vision working? You got it if you said it's one of the dragons from How to Train Your Dragon. That's cute. We're moving on to phase 2, so this will get a little bit trickier, okay? Your task is to find the fourth object in each image. You have 7 seconds to spot all 4 items. 3, 2, 1, go! Did anyone find the straw by any chance? Anyways, could you spot the nail? What was hardest for you to find? The egg or the button? So now we're going to step up our game. This is medium level difficulty and you'll have 7 seconds to find all 4 items. Ready? Go! Did anyone find the French fries? I sure didn't. Up next, 4 women and a baby. Yikes, this is hard. Could anyone spot the hair comb? Here's another one for you. Where on earth was that banana hiding? Good luck with this next one. So the envelope is hiding behind the bathroom pipe. I love black and white. But I'm still searching for that white egg, if you ask me. If this were my room, my mom would be telling me to clean it up ASAP. It took me a while to find that little birdie, but the mission was successful. Good morning, y'all. Oh, bummer, I couldn't find the book, could you? What object can't you find here? I had trouble locating the brush. Too many details, too little time. I have to say, you do have a pretty good eye for detail, but we're changing the game now. You know what they say. You need to keep changing the stimulus to make your brain work better and better. So now, it's emoji time. You'll have 4 seconds in this round. Did you see that one of them didn't have laughing tears? Where's the really sad emoji? And here I was thinking that clowns were supposed to be happy. I guess we all have our bad days, huh? What about this one? Oh, it's the browless one, isn't it? Can you spot the odd one? Oh, so it's a dairy-free burger. There's one with a different grin on its face. That's the one. I think your eyes are pretty warmed up now. So we'll move on to some hard-level optical illusions, okay? This first one is called the impossible triangle. But wait, what makes it so impossible? You have 7 seconds to figure that out. The so-called Penrose triangle is also known as the impossible triangle because it could never exist in reality. This magical triangle defies the laws of Euclidean geometry. If you follow the ball sliding on the surface of the triangle from the top point, you'll notice something strange. It looks like the left side of the triangle is extending away from the viewer, while the right side is closer to you. The Penrose triangle is the type of geometrical figure that can only exist as an optical illusion because this is what it looks like if we dismember it. Not a triangle at all, huh? And this next illusion is called the Pac-Man chaser. You'll see why. Stare at the central cross for 5 seconds. The image appears to be in motion, doesn't it? And you might also see a green disc appear in between the lilac spheres from time to time. Now, this image allows us to witness 2 illusions simultaneously. Firstly, although the image appears to be in continuous motion, nothing here is moving, we promise. This phenomenon is known as the phi phenomenon. It happens when stationary objects are placed side by side and illuminated rapidly one after another, creating an illusion of movement. Now look at the center of the image again. Can you see the green disc? This second illusion is called an afterimage, and this happens when your brain tries to substitute an item with something else as the original item disappears. But why is it green, you might ask? That's because green is lilac's complementary color. If we were to change the color of the disc to blue, then the color of the gap changes to yellow, which is blue's complementary color. Neat, right? Can you stare at this parrot's eye for 15 seconds? Just keep staring at it. I'll tell you when you can close your eyes. You're about to witness another example of an afterimage. 3, 2, 1, and close your eyes. Can you see a red parrot? Isn't it amazing that even though this parrot is black and white, you have the illusion of seeing the color red? Again, this is just your brain trying to guess the color of something. Don't these snakes move beautifully? Except that, they're actually stationary. This classic optical illusion is caused by repeating asymmetrical patterns together with specific color schemes. The illusion mixes lighter colors like yellow and white with darker shades of blue and black. This combination makes your retina send signals to your brain, claiming that these circles are moving. If you want to debunk this illusion and see things as they really are, you need to stare straight at one part of the image. This way, you'll see that the rotation will slowly come to a stop. Take a look at this image. It looks like the square in the middle is breathing, right? Like it's growing in size and then shrinking? What if I told you that it's just rotating, but not changing its size? Here's what's happening. This illusion is called motion binding. It happens when our brain tries to predict the movement of one of the elements in the image. Crazy stuff! This one's another example of a motion binding illusion. These 4 bars seem to be moving in parallel with each other, right? Wrong! They are all part of the same moving square. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Our brain just gets confused. How many bars can you count here? This illusion has left the internet baffled. People have counted as many as 11 bars, but most people count between 8 and 7 bars. According to the creator of this image, there are only 6 complete bars. Try counting from top to bottom, and you'll notice that the upper bars are real. But by the time you get to the 6th bar, things start to get blurry and confusing. That's because the last 2 bars are incomplete. So when you try making them out, they appear to multiply and only leave you more confused. If you trace your pointer down the 7th and 8th bars, you'll be able to see that they are incomplete. They were only put there to confuse you. Can you tell if the dark blue lines are parallel to each other or inclined? They sure look crooked, but in reality they are not. This classic optical illusion was first described over 100 years ago, but it wasn't until the 1970s that it got its current name, the cafe wall illusion. A guy named Steve Simpson noticed a similar effect on the wall of a cafe in Bristol, and here we are. Now let's see how this works. First, let's blur the image a little bit. Oh, a little bit more. There you go. This way you'll be able to see that the dark blue lines are parallel to each other. If you look closely, the little black and white bricks at the intersection of wide lines are what makes this illusion possible. In addition to that, the curved elements inside the blue lines help to make the elusive effect even stronger. If you look at this image attentively, you'll notice a moving square that appears to be changing in tone. What shades do you see? Dark, then light, then dark again? Wrong. The square doesn't change at all. The creator of this illusion is Japanese psychologist and artist Akiyoshi Kitaoka. According to him, you can see your own brain changing its guess about the color of the square. Color is already an illusion created by our brains. It so happens that color is created inside our visual systems. What our eyes perceive as blue is actually a wavelength that is reflected as that color. Moving on, take a look at this staircase. It looks pretty simple, right? Well, now let's flip the image upside down. It still looks like a staircase, but instead of going from right to left, it looks like it's going from left to right. But don't blink. If you blink, the illusion will disappear, and you will be left with the original image. Whoa. This illusion is known as Schroeder's staircase, and it was invented by German scientist Heinrich Schroeder back in 1858. It's simple, yet it reveals a fundamental mechanism of how our brain works. If we dismember the staircase, you'll notice that the image is flat. What our brain perceives as a 3D image is just a combination of shadow and light. This means that the 3D itself is already an optical illusion. This happens because our brain captures images and tries to fit them into what it already knows. So it sees a shadow in a 2D image and understands depth. Basically, it creates an unreal perspective of the object in front of our eyes. In this case, we call it a three-dimensional perspective. Up next, look at this black square crisscrossed with perpendicular white lines. If you look attentively, you'll notice that the white dots, situated at the intersection of the grid, shift their color from white to gray and back. When you concentrate on a particular dot, you see that it's white, but as soon as your attention wanders, the dot turns gray. That's the Hermann grid illusion. Amazing, isn't it? We can take this illusion one step further by positioning white dots at the intersection of gray lines. All are placed on top of the black background. If you look at this image long enough, you'll notice black dots starting to pop up at the intersections of the grid, creating a scintillating effect. Another name for this illusion is a simultaneous light contrast illusion. As you perceive the dots as white at one moment, and then, almost immediately, you see them as black. So why do our senses let us down by making us see gray or black instead of white? This illusion demonstrates one of the most important principles of human perception. You don't always see things for what they are. The retinal cells in our eyes act as light receptors. When only one receptor gets illuminated, it perceives more light than when its colleagues are also illuminated. This prevents the firing of nearby receptors. With the Hermann grid illusion, the white lines are arranged in such a way that there's more light around the intersections than along the lines themselves. Thus, the dots at the intersections are more inhibited, and you see darker spots. What do you say? Did your eyes pass the test? I guess mine did, but my brain is a little bit tired. See you next time.
This fresh set of optical illusions will definitely challenge your visual perception. If your brain isn't happy when you look at things that spin and flash, be careful and get somebody to watch this astonishing illusionary art with you. Ready? Go full screen and let's get started. Take a look at this pair of circles. It's not an illusion. They're identical, and they do rotate. But they don't actually move across the screen. The arrows confuse your brain, so it seems that the circles are shrinking and even moving back and forth. If you manage to focus your gaze so that they stop moving, you're a wizard. What about this shining star? Is it static or dynamic? Although the star seems to be pulsing, its size doesn't change at all, but its popping color creates an illusion of movement. Let's move on to our next one. Check this out. Can you spot any movement? This picture is static, but if you take your time to look at these flowers carefully, your brain will definitely convince you that they're moving. What about this picture? The direction of this pattern makes the brain think that the circle is rotating to the left, but it's a lie. The same goes for this cute pattern. Can you see it spinning around? What about this picture? Can you spot any movement? Well, in this case, it's not surprising because this image is animated. An optical illusion is not always an optical illusion, so be careful. Let's take a look at the next one. This star seems to be dancing because its asymmetrical shape confuses your brain's expectations. Maybe it's time to ask ourselves, what else is my brain lying to me about right now? What can you say about this beautiful pattern? Is it just a basic optical illusion or an animated video? That's right, it's an animation. Here's our next one. If you focus all your attention on the middle of this picture, it will soon begin to move.
But in fact, it stays the same. Don't let your brain play tricks on you. Your perception of this image may change if you blink a bunch of times and shake your head. Moving on, take a look at this tricky pattern. Is this image static? Yes, it truly is. Some optical illusions work by fooling around with contrasts in our field of vision. These two circles consist of small rotating striped circles. They appear to change the direction of rotating thanks to how our brains deal with information immediately within our focus. It's different from the way it processes peripheral information. You can see it when you focus on one circle and then on another. Are you dizzy yet? Let's move on to the next one. Zigzag is a great tool to create a bunch of optical illusions that can make you feel like you're flying. But this particular zigzag pattern is animated. Is it? Nope, it's a static picture. Be careful with zigzags. The next optical illusion will make you see with your eyes closed. All you have to do is stare at this Marilyn Monroe's nose at the center of this portrait. Continue staring at the same spot for at least 7 seconds, and try not to blink. Ready? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now take a look at your ceiling and blink a bunch of times. Close your eyes. Can you still see the portrait? Don't worry, it'll disappear in a few seconds. This optical illusion is called an after image. It appears after you've stared at an image for some time. Usually, it requires around 30 seconds. Then you close your eyes or look at a white piece of paper afterwards. Overstimulation makes the rods and cones in your eyes lose sensitivity. That's why for a short period afterward, you interpret colors as their paired primary color. Now, let's take a look at this tricky pattern. Is this image static or dynamic? It's not an optical illusion. This pattern is animated. If you managed to guess, great job! Now, let's take a look at this one. Do these spheres move across the screen? Nope, they don't. If you were careful enough, you noticed the top moving when you squinted and concentrated on the spheres. This optical illusion is static. But if you take your time and focus on the center of the screen, it will begin to rotate. Let's move on to our next one. This optical illusion will make you feel like a magician and level up your concentration skills. At this point, you probably see that the static circles begin to move, pop, and spin slightly. But which way? There's no right answer here. The largest circle probably spins to the left. But if you switch your focus to the center of the image, the same circle will begin to spin to the right. The movement will change depending on which layer of this image you're currently focusing on. Arrows inside these colorful circles may confuse your vision. Try not to look at them, and you'll notice that the circles inside this illusion aren't changing their shape or moving at all. It's pretty clear that this crazy watermelon isn't spinning, isn't it? Nope. If you screw up with your eyes, you can verify this by focusing your gaze on the sphere. See? It doesn't move anymore. This figure can begin to move like a snake, and the black points will begin to blink white. But don't let your brain fool you. This image is still the same. Are you dizzy yet? Let's experiment with disappearing dots. Focus on the central green dot. Try not to blink for a while. You will see one or more of the yellow dots disappearing and then reappearing randomly. Here's another illusion with disappearing dots. Thousands of people worldwide complained that this simple optical illusion had made them question reality. There are 12 black dots at the intersections of this image, but your brain won't let you see them all at once. Well, how many dots did you count? There are 12 black dots in this image, and it's a fact. But most people can't see all 12 dots at once. When you're focusing on that black dot in the center of your field of view, your visual system is automatically filling in what's going on around it. And this regular pattern of gray lines on a white background makes your brain suggest that there are no black dots at all. That's why you miss the intermittent black dots, or they disappear and reappear as your eye jitters around. This cute animation is also very tricky. It pictures a moon and 6 stars surrounding it. There's also a dotted circular layer moving in the background. Try not to move your head at all. If you manage to focus your eyes on the moon and stay perfectly still, you'll soon notice that the stars begin to disappear. How many of them did you make disappear? There's no one correct answer here. The number of disappeared stars depends on your perception. This tricky wheel can make your brain think that it rotates, but it's a lie. You may notice that the wheel changes the direction when you tilt your head to the right or to the left. This trick will make your hands melt like water. Don't worry, it's not forever. Keep staring at the center of the screen for 30 seconds. Try not to blink. Now, take a look at your hands. Are they melting? You can also look at some text and notice that your vision is wavy. Take a look at this tricky optical illusion. What can you say about this wheel? Is it static or dynamic? It's static. Your brain plays tricks on you. Now let's give your eyes a little break by changing the task. Can you spot an odd monkey out? Here it is. Can you find a different monster out? This guy in the right corner doesn't look as happy as the others. There are many zeros in here. Can you also see another hidden number? Here it is. Does this pattern consist of red apples only? Nope. Here's one tomato. Can you find 2 similar emojis among this variety? Here they are. What about this set of emojis? Can you see 2 identical emojis? Here they are. Take a look at these emojis. Are they all different? Nope, these two emojis are similar. How many emojis can you find among this variety? There are 3. What about this collection? Can you spot any identical emojis here? This task is tricky. All these emojis are different. If you manage to crack our trick, good job! Take a look at this set. Can you find a pair of identical emojis? Nope, it's impossible, because these two are similar. Does this cat crowd have any odd details? This guy over here is not a cat, it's a rabbit. Can you find a 4-leaf clover in here? Here it is. Lucky you.
Right now, you're going to test your observation skills. This test has 4 levels, and each one's trickier than the last. Find a pen and a piece of paper to write down your score. For each correct answer, you'll get some points. 1 if it's the first level, 2 if it's the second one, 3 for the third, and 4 for the last one. The results will be at the end of the video. Level 1. 1. So, how many legs can you see in this picture? Right, there are 12 legs, 6 wearing dress shoes and 6 with high heels. 2. There's an animal in this picture that's trying really hard to blend in. Can you spot it? Aha! It's this piglet, but its nose gives it away. 3. Can you find 3 animals hidden in this picture? Right, 3 ducks are hiding among the tree branches. 4. What's wrong with this image? 2 moons? Really? 5. Can you spot anything strange in this picture? A snake is pretending to be a giraffe here. 6. Just another regular day at the supermarket. Or is it? It would be if the lady on the left wasn't wearing skis. 7. How about this image? Is everything correct here? Not really. There's something wrong with the exit sign. 8. Why is this laundry trip gonna end badly? Because who on earth washes white shirts together with red socks? Not me. 9. This picture looks weird, but why? The mouse is chasing the cat, not the other way around. 10. Can you spot the odd image? Yep, it's the sprinkled donut in the corner. Well, that was easy. Okay, I'm up for some challenges now. Level 2. 11. Which kitty is different from the rest? This one seems to be more pleased with life than the others. 12. There are 4 mistakes in this picture. Try to find all of them. Well, let's see. A globe under the sink, a pair of shoes in the cupboard, a shirt instead of the curtains, and a table lamp instead of the faucet. This woman's life must be full of adventures. 13. Can you see 2 different things in this image? It can be a girl or someone's face. 14. Do you see a deer? A real master of camouflage. 15. Can you find 3 animals here? I've only got one question. What are rabbits doing up there? 16. There are 3 things wrong in this picture. Can you spot them all? There's no red light and no rails for the tram. And December 32nd? Seriously? You really want 2020 to last that much longer? 17. Which girl looks different? The one in the right bottom corner, because it's a boy. 18. Which magician is different from the rest? Yeah, he probably decided to stand out from the crowd by wearing a different cloak. 19. Something is missing in this picture, but what exactly? The sun is bright, but then, where are the camel's shadows? 20. Which emoji is different? Yep, the non-winking one. Okay, not so bad. What's next? Surprise me. Level 3. 21. How many cubes are there in this picture? There are 9 cubes. 22. Can you spot the odd one? Yeah, it looks a bit shorter than the rest. 23. Can you figure out which string is tied to the banana? I'd bet on the first one, but it's actually number 3. 24. How many animals can you see in this picture? There are 3 foxes. 25. Something's wrong with this picture. But what? The pitcher is empty. Where's the milk coming from? 26. Can you read what's written here? It's a mystery. No, you don't get it. The word is mystery. 27. Which unicorn is different? This one, because it's a horse, not a unicorn. 28. What's wrong in this picture? The fish doesn't have fins. 29. What's hidden here? A tiny hint, it's alive. Right, it's a giant panda. 30. What can you see in this image? It's either a face or a penguin. Wow, to tell you the truth, that level made me sweat. Level 4. 31. Can you find a snake in this picture? Duh, looks like a tree root to me. 32. What can you see in this image? There are 2 trees and a woman's head. 33. Can you find the farmer's wife? Here's a hint, she's somewhere nearby. Who would have guessed you could turn the image upside down? 34. The children are sure the astronomer is still in the room, but where can he be hiding? He really didn't want to be found. 35. These geese are in danger. A predator's hiding somewhere in the picture. Wow, almost missed it. How spooky. 36. What's hidden in this picture? It's a big, toothy, scary shark. 37. How many things can you see in this picture? It can be a beggar or it can be a face, depending on your perspective. 38. This image is quite obvious. Or is it? Try turning it upside down. Then, the rabbit will turn into a man with a long mustache. 39. And what can you see in this picture? It might be a happy dog, or an equally cheerful cat. 40. And finally, can you read this? You don't say. Bad eyes? Okay, this level was actually mind-boggling, but I'm looking forward to learning my results. If your score is 0 to 25 points, work more on your observation skills, and you'll get better. If you've got 26 to 50 points, you have a quick eye. With more practice, you'll soon become a pro. If you have 51 to 75 points, you're as attentive as Sherlock. You can spot the tiniest details without much effort. But if you've got 76 to 100 points, wow! I can't but feel a bit intimidated. Nothing can escape your eagle eye. It's better not to mess with you.
Okay, look at the center of the cross. No, don't get distracted by the celebrity's glam. Just keep staring at the cross. Go on, just a little longer. And suddenly, something weird starts happening. Those faces go from red carpet gorgeous to downright bizarre, right? What kind of creepy spell is at work here? Well, we promise you, we didn't do any Photoshop magic. Look, if we stop this crazy roulette and you focus on the photos, you'll see that Miley Cyrus still looks great. This optical illusion is known as the flash face distortion effect. Basically, these photos are arranged in a way that totally messes with our heads, and our brains love to compare things. So when the images switch really fast, and you see someone with a tiny nose right after someone with a regular nose, your brain gets confused. Suddenly, a normal nose can look as huge as Pinocchio's. The same goes for lips, eyes, hey, you name it. Since our brains are always comparing each face to the one before, they end up turning these beautiful celebrities into exaggerated, creepy cartoon versions of themselves. So, tell me, what do you see here? A horse or a seal? It partly depends on where your eyes land first. If you look at the bottom of the picture, your brain probably thinks it's a horse. But if your gaze goes to the upper right corner first, suddenly it looks like a seal's tail. But it's not just about where we look. Then, something even stranger is happening here. When our brains spot an ambiguous figure with unclear information, we basically see what we want to see. In one experiment, scientists showed this exact image to a group of people and told them that if they spotted a farm animal, they'd win a candy treat. Yum! But if they saw a sea creature, they'd get canned beans, which is kind of weird, right? The results showed that 80% of the people saw a horse. So they decided to switch it up. This time, whoever saw a sea animal would get a treat. When the motivation changed, can you guess what happened? More participants ended up seeing a seal in the second round. So yeah, it seems like psychology plays a huge role in how we interpret ambiguous images. We also have these undecipherable figures. I mean, no matter how hard you try, you just won't be able to fully understand the image. Take the impossible trident, for example. On one side, it looks like three cylindrical shapes, but on the other side, it seems like they merge into two rectangular parts. This happens because the vision center of our brains does a lot of its work subconsciously and automatically, interpreting the figure as a three-dimensional object. But when we see that structure in 3D, it doesn't make any rational sense. It's similar to the Penrose triangle. This triangle is physically impossible to construct in the real world, so we just can't figure it out. The next optical illusion is the negative after-image effect. So look at the three dots on her nose. If you didn't guess it already, that's Jennifer Lopez, looking like an Avatar character. But don't worry, this eerie look is about to change right before your eyes. Keep your gaze fixed on those three dots right in the center of the picture. Don't look away and don't blink. Alright, on the count of 3, we'll switch to a blank white screen. But you have to keep your eyes wide open. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, bam! Can you see what I see? Yup, it's J-Lo looking fabulous in her red outfit. Crazy, right? But there's a solid reason behind this magic. Our eyes have millions of tiny light-sensitive cells called rods and cones. Rods help us see in low light and pick up things in our peripheral view, which can also be pronounced peripheral view, while cones are all about color, bright lights, and fine details. When light hits these cells, they get excited and send signals to our brains, where everything gets processed into what we actually see. But here's the catch. Cone cells can get tired. If they stare at the same color for too long, well, they need a break. That's when other cone cells step in to help out. Different cone cells are better at handling red, green, and blue colors. So when certain cone cells get fatigued, the theory of opponent processing kicks in, allowing other cones to take over. And that's how the color in J-Lo's photo magically appeared. Hey, look who it is! Einstein! Now, squint your eyes, or if you prefer, take a few steps back. Wait, is Einstein suddenly turning into Marilyn Monroe? This is a hybrid image, which is kind of like a mashup of two pictures. It combines the blurry parts of one image with the sharp details of another. In this case, Einstein's image is all about thin lines and sharp contours, like wrinkles or strands of hair, while Marilyn Monroe's is more about the big picture with those blurred shapes. When you step back or squint your eyes, those tiny details fade away, and suddenly Monroe's face jumps out at you. The same thing happens here. At first, this woman looks kind of meh, not happy, not sad. But if you squint your eyes a little, suddenly she looks really mad. Uh-oh. Wow, what a twist! Here are Kim Kardashian and Timothée Chalamet's photos turned upside down. Did you notice anything strange about them? You probably didn't, but if you look closely, you'll see their eyes and mouths aren't flipped. This is called the inverted face illusion. It happens because our brains are wired to recognize faces right side up. We process them as a whole and pick up on details really quickly. But when a face is upside down, our brains struggle to catch those odd details, like the upside-down features. This trick is known as the cafe wall illusion, and what's crazy about that is these bricks aren't crooked at all. In fact, the horizontal lines are perfectly straight and parallel. This image tricks our brains because of how we process contrast. The sharp black and white tiles next to each other create a visual conflict, making our brains think those lines are bending. But if you switch the colors to something softer, like pink and blue, the illusion disappears. The softer contrast doesn't mess with our perception the same way, so we can see the straight lines clearly. And there's something else. Check out the layers of mortar between the bricks. Yep, those gray lines. The distortion only happens when the brightness of the mortar is somewhere between the dark and light tiles. So if the mortar is too dark or too light, the illusion fades away. Poof. Now, these strawberries are red, right? Well, wrong. In this case, the strawberries aren't red at all. They are gray. This magic happens because of something called color constancy, which is our ability to recognize the color of an object regardless of changes in lighting or surroundings. In this experiment, all the red pixels in this photo were swapped out for gray ones, and we can prove it by zooming in. It only looks like there's red in this picture because the background is blue. Our brains think that the light source has some blue in it, and then they figure out the color of things by discounting the color of the light source. When your brain takes those gray pixels and subtracts out that blue bias, you end up seeing red. Interesting, right? The same thing happens with the dress. If your brain sees the lighting as a bit yellowish, it tries to discount that golden glow, making you see the dress as blue and black. But if your mind thinks the background is darker, it discounts those bluish tones, and suddenly the dress looks white and gold. So, what's the real color of the dress? Well, in this case, it's actually black and blue. But let's wrap this up before we dive into that never-ending debate again. That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.